Hello, everybody. Welcome to the 7th grade orchestra concert. I'm Alec Paquin. I teach orchestra here, and this is the 7th grade orchestra, a really, really lovely group of young musicians that I've gotten the pleasure to start working with this year. We've been working really hard on a handful of pieces for you tonight. I should let you know, in case you missed what was on the screen, if you go to bit.ly/MGMS Orchestra, you can see program notes that the students wrote. I highly recommend you read those. You can learn a little bit about what the kids think about the music and what they hear, which I always call is one of my favorite things, is knowing what they think about the music, because it's always so interesting. So check that out throughout the concert. We are going to get started with a couple of tunes, both kind of dark and spooky, oddly enough. The first one is called the Grotto, which is a cave. It's very dark and mysterious. And then we're going to head over to Zenith, which is a little bit more intense and powerful. Please enjoy the 7th grade orchestra playing the Grotto and Zenith. Thank you. That was the Grotto and Zenith. Before we get to our next tune, I just want to talk a little bit about what we've been up to since September. Obviously, we've been learning how to play some concert music, but there is obviously lots of things that go into that. We've been learning how to do more like unfamiliar notes and rhythms. We've been learning how to play faster and slower more consistently, exploring a wider range of dynamics or volume, strength of the music. And most of all, I find that the most important thing to do in a 7th grade orchestra is really getting the group to sort of gel together, right? Getting the group to feel like a pulse together, to feel a beat together, I keep telling the kids throughout the concert, look up, because if you're staring at the page, you're just thinking about the ink. But if you're looking up, we're thinking about being an orchestra now, right? So we've been working really hard on that, and I think it's very obvious that that's going very well. So our next tune here is a bit longer. That's another thing we've been exploring, is just longer pieces of music. This next tune is called Miniature Symphony, and it has 4 small movements, just like you would think in a symphony. The first movement is called Modest March. It's a little march. And then Little Largo is a little slow song. Minuet is a waltz. And Kleine Kanon is a small canon where you're going to hear a lot of back and forth across the orchestra. Been working really hard on this one. This one has all sorts of crazy repeats and all this stuff, so the kids are counting and thinking really hard in this one. Please enjoy Miniature Symphony. Can we hear it again for Miniature Symphony? Seventh grade orchestra. It's really, really nice. Wait till they find out that real symphonies are like 25, 30, 45 minutes long. You'll never see it coming. So folks, we have one more for you. You see we have a bit of an instrument change here as well. But I just wanted to end with saying that in the past, I've taught all 3 grade levels here, and with our switch in our school to teaching music every day instead of every other day, that has filled my plate. And we hired Mrs. Valdezon to teach 6th grade orchestra. Now I just teach 7 and 8. It's been a big adjustment for me, a little bit emotionally, because one of the best things about being a music teacher in middle school and high school is you get to know these kids for multiple years, 3-4 years, right? And that's how you really develop that community. And I just have to say that working with this group for the first time in 7th grade instead of really meeting them this last year has been so lovely. You know, you never know what you're gonna get. You never know if we're gonna, work together. And I'll tell you this is a secret between you and me. 7th graders are kind of weird. But I love them so much because you get to see so much community and personality develop in 7th grade as well. And it's just been a really lovely group to work with. So thank you for letting me hang out with your kids for an hour a day and make music. Make sure, on another note, that your calendars are marked for January 23rd. January 23rd is our folk music festival. We do it every year. We'll be having it at Osseo High School, and we will play some fiddle music, old-time Americana stuff, some jazz, and some mariachi. It's going to be a blast. We get to play with students from Osseo Middle School and Northview Middle School. There'll be some high schoolers hanging out helping us too. It's always a really fun event. So make sure you're there for it. We'll meet during the day and work with the other schools and then perform for all of you in the evening. It is January 23rd. We have one more tune for you. We're of course going to feature the orchestra as always, but we also have Lainey and Nadia on the synthesizer back there. Can you all play a couple notes for me? Just go bop bop on there. Can you play a couple keyboard notes? Just play. Yeah, that's what we want. So be listening for that. This like nasty synth sound. It's going to be great. And then we have Emma, Violet, and Nora on the percussion. Can you whack those a couple times for us? Just whack something. Yeah. This is called Mechanical Monsters. Imagine a sort of B-movie style bad horror movie soundtrack. Please enjoy our final tune. Thank you, everybody.